Okay, I'll just give you one simple case. For phase change material, by having a technical and competitive intelligence, well, looking at phase change material, we always think of fabric, right? Such kind of skill and technology only used for fabric. Apparently, Singapore is not good at making the clothes. But this kind of material can also be used for construction and packaging and use in DVD. So, always this research staff have certain idea of developing some technology. They can shoot for certain known market, but sometimes, and most of the time, they will have problem in reorienting the technology to a new market. And that's why you need a competitive intelligence and technical intelligence. Well, if you want to learn that, in the following semester, we will offer a course in the CMOS. Okay, the patent database, according to the WIPO, it's not invented by Property, okay? It's according to the WIPO, very authoritative and powerful organization. 90 to 95% of world's invention can be found in patent documents. And if the patent documents are employed to assist R&D, the time required for research can be shortened by up to 60%, and the cost can be lowered by up to 40%. Okay, this is the case. That is what we did for LED. By checking the patent mapping and by checking all the patent database, we find that there are some star size. Star size means that we can develop our technology on the basis of our patent analysis. And the brief side means that they're overcrowded or the out-of-date technology. And you can see all kinds of patents being listed out for certain breed. It means that they are so crowded of patents over there. And from the patents, we know the development history of the technology. Okay, now we kind to end up with the innovation with the IP as well as the competitive intelligence. For technology innovation, we also need IP due diligence. Whereas some of you probably already in the industry for a period of time, whenever you try to merge a company, you always want to do the financial due diligence, right? You want to do legal due diligence. But nowadays, they require IP due diligence, and very few people know how to do the IP due diligence. So IP due diligence primarily mean that you have to check whether or not the IP is sound enough, or are there any potential risk for a company's IP would infringe others or would be sued later on. Okay, innovate the idea from IP database, that's what I've been suggesting. And for continuing innovation, actually, IP monitoring, competitive information, that's what you need. But most likely in continuing innovation, you have been so familiar with your competitor, so just by looking at that or send someone to have a dinner with the guys, leaders, then you would know everything. So continuing innovation, for example, the charter probably, I'm not sure, do we have anyone from charter? Charter probably don't need this kind of competitive intelligence because they know their competitor well. They've been in this business for a long time. But for this continuous innovation, either radical or disruptive, you have to be very careful about doing a patent clearance whenever you try to use, especially for disruptive. Disruptive means you either use existing technology, you want to develop a new market, or you use not as good technology, then you have to be careful. Does someone already have the patent? So do the patent clearance licensing, find a licensing partner. Some of the licensing partners are quite tough. You probably don't want to deal with them, want to mix up with them. So you know who and where to choose. And to know how to do the design around. You want to know how to do design around, go take MIT courses. We teach you very good how to design around. You skill excellent. The most important skill you should ever learn in patents. Okay, so are we in a backward stage or are we less competitive than the American and European? No, according to the patent scoreboard, which again was published by the MIT. According to the 2006 ranking, they investigated 15 industries. In Asian countries, excel American and Europe in the semiconductor, IT, consumer electronic, chemical, automobile, as well as the transportation. But we are so close to America or Europe in the electronics, instrument, industry, equipment, and materials. And I know Singapore has been investing a lot in biopharmaceutical. Apparently, this part is not Asian expertise. So, in the long run, probably in the near future, you'll encounter some patent difficulty. But good luck to you guys. Well, I just conclude my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Liu. session is now open to the floor. Are there any questions for Professor Liu? Right. It certainly has been very interesting for me, Professor, because you really opened my eyes. I was mainly, I'm a reference librarian with Lee Kong Chen. I thought finding the USPTO website was very interesting, but Professor Liu has opened my eyes to other sort of resources and avenues in the whole world of patents. Okay. For those of you with the information program guide, if you turn to the flip side, the library has also prepared some resources regarding patents, so if you're interested, you can check them out as well. Without much further ado, I would like to represent the library and thank Professor Liu for his time. I would like to present a token of appreciation.
Oh, should Tobin ask some question? Come on, you are leader of this one.
Oh.
I need some feedback.
Okay.
Ask a question.
Yeah. Just pretend you have a question. It's okay. You know, in my class, he is very active. I don't think he can stay cool today. So, yeah?
Okay,
That's something I already know.
I'm late because of it. Actually, I'm at track. But I cannot say anything because I missed it, right? So, for example, now track has an IP strategy, and now it's through the app system, right? And now you win in Singapore, right? But they have filed patents all over the world, including Mongolia.
Wow.
So, what do you think should be the right strategy for them to move on, besides just suing?
Okay. Well, I would imagine. As a matter of fact, when you win one case, you better stay there forever. If you want to bring another case, you have 50% to lose. I'm not saying the Singapore court favor or bias for Track 2000, but so far as I understand the case, there are disputable issues, which means according to the newspaper, the other party the M system who lost the case, keep claiming the technology or the product was used in China already, but they cannot provide the evidence. So in other words, if someone can really collect concrete evidence from China, well, the decision could be changed. So as long as the Track 2000 already had a case, winning case in the hands, wherever they want to, engage in a possible dispute, I would say you can settle as long as you can settle, as long as it's not too much to be unfavorable for Track 2000. They probably want to keep that away. For example, if this case happening in the US or even in Taiwan, you don't know what would happen, right? But I have a full trust and as well as total confidence in the Singapore court. But I would imagine, since this is the first case in Singapore, the lawyers might not be as familiar with the case. And lawyer probably sometimes you lose some case not because you already infringed, just because you hire lousy lawyers. They don't know how to defend your case. They don't know how to invalidate the other guys, and that might be one of the cause. Okay, I'm just imagining, but that according to my experience, I can straightforward speak it up, and I do believe that according to our experience, we hired the same not as good lawyer, U.S. lawyer before, and we also lose the case. But after we changed that, we totally revert the decision. And sometimes I would say that if the Track 2000 want to keep that way, okay, of course they can always announce, but when people look at, if I'm a Taiwanese company, I look at the case, okay, this happened in Singapore, right? Come to Taiwan, I'll sue you in Taiwan. Okay, come to US. Okay, you never know what's going to happen. So, for the timing, Track 2000 can go straight forward, but be nicely and to some extent generally collect a royalty, not too harsh or not to put the other side into a fighting wheel. Okay, that would be most beneficial for Track 2000.